Now we have I would say it was a midnight Woj bomb, but it's not. It's a midnight Kyrie bomb, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody put it out within 30 seconds of each other, so really nobody gets credit here.
Kyrie Irving posted an apology finally on Instagram. Now, Kyrie Irving, who was suspended by the Nets earlier tonight for 5 games. The Nets said he can't be around the team right now after he refused to even acknowledge if he was anti-Semitic at a press conference today. Kyrie Irving, who, of course, has been a big topic of conversation because on Twitter he retweeted I would say a copy or a promotion of a movie, of a documentary that's airing on Amazon right now that has a lot of anti-Semitic tropes in it, including that the Holocaust was fake. And Kyrie got 2 chances to make things better. He did not do well at either of them. His press conference on Monday, his press conference today. Again, it comes down to, can you say you're not anti-Semitic? And he said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I came from. He couldn't even say no to that. The Nets finally suspend him. And now after being suspended and being faced with the potential end of his NBA career, Kyrie Irving has apologized. Going to read the apology, and then we're going to break it down. Again, he put this out a few minutes ago on Instagram. While doing research on YHWH, I posted a documentary that contained some false anti-Semitic statements, narratives, and language that were untrue and offensive to the Jewish race/religion, and I take full accountability and responsibility for my actions. I am grateful to have a big platform to share knowledge, and I want to move forward by having an open dialogue to learn more and grow from this. To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion to being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary. I want to clarify any confusion on where I stand fighting against anti-Semitism by apologizing for posting the documentary without context and a factual explanation outlining the specific beliefs in the documentary I agreed with and disagreed with. I had no intentions to disrespect any Jewish cultural history regarding the Holocaust or perpetuate any hate. I am learning from this unfortunate event and hope we can find understanding between us all. I am no different than any other human being. I am a seeker of truth and knowledge, and I know who I am. That is the apology from Kyrie Irving. Now, there's going to be some people that an apology is no good for. It's never any good for. There's going to be some people that say he's apologized. It's over now. But it's not quite that simple, right? Now, I just read you some of the stuff, and some of the things he wants to disassociate responsibility from, other things he's taking responsibility for, right? As he did do that in this apology. And in the end, a situation like this is not about telling someone, hey, you need to not be able to play basketball anymore. You need to be able to have to go away and never come back again, and no one to ever pay attention to you. What this story is about education. And it's about Kyrie Irving learning that what he did was really irresponsible. Because what he was doing was he wasn't tweeting a different way of thinking. He was tweeting about a movie that just flat out had falsehoods in it. I mean, you're tweeting out, hey, this documentary that says the Holocaust didn't happen. I mean, come on. There's a difference between saying, hey, this is how I think about something, and I think about it a different way, versus here's something that's just flat out wrong. Right? So there's a difference between there. And this is what you want in a situation like this, is you want someone to feel like, okay, maybe there's hope that he's going to educate himself on what's going on here, and he's true to his words. That's all you can hope for, right? I want to think there's hope for all of us. Now, is this enough? No, I'd like to see him say it, because he was really standoffish and elitist when he was talking about it in the press conference the last couple of days, so I'd like to see him say it, but this is a big step in the right direction. And in the end, I want Kyrie Irving, who does have a lot of followers, a lot of people listening to him, hey, talk about things, be informed about it. Don't just throw stuff out there because you saw something on social media and you read 3 paragraphs and so, hey, I'm hitting retweet on it, because that's what gets you in trouble, right? Wait, you didn't see this whole documentary? You had so many people in the media going, I watched this whole thing, I couldn't believe it. They had fake quotes from Adolf Hitler and all these things. And it's like, dude, you got to know what you're doing. take some responsibility. So if that's what happens with Kyrie Irving, that's the win. I mean, I do need to see a little bit more from him, but this is a step forward. And in the end, I'm rooting for all of us. I want all of us to succeed, and I want all of us to move forward. And it's got to be something that because we're all in this together. How much everybody likes each other or not, whether on either side, political side, whatever it is, we're all in this together. And we have to be able to think that there's a way forward. And this, honestly, for me with Kyrie Irving, it's a way forward. Now, is it forced? And he does it after he's threatened with his livelihood? Yeah, it is. But sometimes that's what people need to know that, okay, I really need to think about what I did. And now I need to really jump in and see what I did. And I'm hoping that he takes that this post is at face value, that he's going to honestly get into what happened and what he saw and how harmful his post was and how harmful his actions were and his press conferences were. And he goes forward in a positive way and says, okay, I want to be an agent for change, because Kyrie does. And that's how I want to live my life. And I'm going to look into this, and I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to foster thinking and change without just being someone who jumps on a topic because I feel like I want to get this out there, when what you're really doing is you're just giving publicity to something that is flat out wrong, that is offensive and hurtful to a lot of people. So I'm hopeful. I always want to be hopeful, Mike. I mean, because I don't want to think that we're done and there's no way to go forward and we're just going to kind of, circle the drain for the next few hundred years, whatever it is, 1,000 years. I want to think there's hope for us. And so this at least gives me hope that he finally had a chance to do the right thing and understand that what he did hurt a lot of people, and he put it out there. So however we're getting there, at least we got to this point.
Yeah, I think when you get threatened with whatever the indefinite suspension is, we have no idea what the conversations were over the course of the day from when that was put out by the Nets to this point, what the harsh realities were with sponsors and partners and all of those things, people in his inner circle that blew up his phone or communicated with him, or who he met with. Like, all of that still comes out in the wash. And maybe that's the next press conference that you get to, instead of being standoffish, instead of talking about how well-read you are and everything else, which is all fine and good. But you still have to own what your position in retweeting and associating yourself with this documentary and the subject matter therein, what it does and how it alienates you from people, and what it says, even if you don't intend it to be that, right? Because he keeps coming back to intellectual debates and whatever else. And to some degree, yes, he finally says what had been asked for in the prior press releases. But now, he'll have to answer more questions, and we'll see what the work is substantively from there. I can't tell you what's in a man's heart or a woman's heart that you're sitting next to, that you're working with, and all of that, right? The NBA and the Brooklyn Nets, they made their decision earlier today. When we look at the Nets saying, hey, he's got to be away at least 5 games, I don't know what that does, if it rescinds it or if there's some level of community acts that push forward from here. It doesn't close it. But as you say, it opens up the conversation. And these are all important things. Those that watch the news, I know a lot of people that run and hide from it because they don't know what to trust, who to trust, etc., and trying to find the truths from different slants, right? The word journalism has, it's once upon a time what folks would tell you going to journalism school, Big J, the truths and the questions to ask, whatever. Well, we know that's kind of a watered-down version in this social media 24-hour news cycle world. So trying to figure out how to parse through good data, bad data, research, trustworthy sources, right? Even in the Twitterverse, to bring that in while we're at it. The whole notion of what now will constitute getting a check mark. A lot of consternation over it, right? Because now if I register my name as insert NFL or NBA insider here on my account and I pay the requisite fee, is that enough? All of a sudden, do we have a bunch of Jason Smiths running around that are all certified talking about the Mets or whatever they might start to talk about that now gets put onto your name? Or, all of our friends that come onto the show that work and cover different beats around the country. There's all that kind of thing, because now you've got potential for a whole other layer of misinformation. We see it enough with the fake Wojs at trade deadline time and whatever else, right? Fake Shams, fake Glazers, and down the line. So, a lot of it is just the education and being careful with what you're reading and digging a little deeper rather than hitting the refresh, re-click, retweets and quote tweets and whatever else, especially when you've got millions of fans and followers. The old Spider-Man line, great power, great responsibilities.